Welcome and a very, very warm welcome to anyone who may be watching this, who is in this general vicinity. The reason comments are down, in case anybody new is here, is because at times there can be a lack of participation and empathy, and there are more people than ever experiencing mental health systems, problems, voices in the head, even if they don't believe in things like demons or things of that nature, and they just believe in traditional physical based, um, fourth dimension based, material world conspiracies, right, regarding mind control. But what is taking place is far deeper. So I see this place that I'm in is being controlled by evil. Okay. And I really do believe that I need a break, but I don't have the money to get out. I don't have the friends. I don't have the invitations. And I know from experience that you actually can't go and hang out with the very first people that invite you to hang out. There's been a couple people that kind of solidified that people aren't really feeling the call to help me. One was when the only person that said, "Hey, bro, if you ever need anywhere to go, if they're after you, me and my butt love boyfriend will take you in." And being that I knew this person back in Portland, that really made me feel disgusted. And so the black and white love fest, whether it be gay or homo or hetero, has to be addressed because a lot of people that could be helping me in America that are blacks, whites, Latinos, they're looking at me like, bro, your issues are your own. You've got problems. We don't give a fuck. And so even people that have watched me for years still have a lot to learn about tribalism. I want to get out. I want to get out. And so there's three main places that I can tell you about that I think that I would be prosperous in spiritually and intellectually in the right circumstance with the right people. Okay, so a week in New York City, megaphoning Times Square should happen. Okay, and I want to talk about the crime happening there and some of the corruption there and maybe do some research. And being that there's a lot of people that worship Donald Trump in New York that believe that all the problems in New York are blue state, that's only a half truth. It's only a half truth that there's blue state policies. It doesn't deal with the systemic issues of basically solar flares, violence. And if you know of other people that get into that, let me know. But I need to get to Vegas where people might have a greater consciousness, because I'll tell you what I told the people at Kroger. I told one pretty girl, I talk about how y'all are demons if you take my car and throw it away. So I didn't say that. I said, you're not on Team Angel. That's what I said. And she laughed, and her mom. I want you to come to the channel, but if you throw it away, you're not on Team Angel, and just ran off. Then I went around Kroger in a circle, because when I went into Kroger, I go in screaming, 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job or something. I mean, really, really alarming the people. Like, wait a minute. You're saying that you're against an official narrative? What kind of a demon are you? So they are anti any truth. And how they got so many old 9/11 truthers to be modern day Satanists, white supremacists is really interesting. But that's the ultimate turn to punch bowl. Yeah, I said it, bitch. What you gonna do? And so, like, when you do that shit and you get involved in something righteous, but 9/11 truth has been trashed by Alex Jones and Donald Trump being associated with 9/11 truth or Alex Jones, mentally retarded leftists will think that Donald Trump's like a conspiracy theorist. No, he's a fake news purveyor who's a Freudian going fake news, when everything about what got Donald Trump elected was fake news. They didn't have to run with fake news. And the last time, all they had to do was just report on Biden's record and go, look, you're either going to be with Tweedledum Tweedledee or Tweedledum Tweedledo. I want to thank the three people that are hanging with me right now. I'm going to stop begging you for your likes, but I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. But you know what? That hit of the, oh yeah, you like me. I'm sorry if you're new and you're like, what's this drug reference? I quit heroin 20 years ago. What I'm saying is, oh yeah, I only get so high from likes to a point where it's like sex and drugs and give me more, give me crazier porn. Oh, I gotta be careful for the young people here. But I basically told the pretty Latina at Walmart. So let me get back to I go to Walmart and I pass by her and I pass by her again. And I'm going, I think I'm intuitive or something like, no, don't talk to her. And I don't know why. The internal message, don't talk to her, that woman's got kids, but she's a demon. Offer her anyway. No, of course she wouldn't take it. You're with the human trafficking, big old fat boyfriend, big old fat giant. Basically, I say I'm exposing human trafficking as a psychic, and they, honey, don't even look back out of curiosity. Now, I want you to think about that. Freeze frame, matrix. Freeze frame, matrix. Freeze frame, matrix. What kind of a humanoid doesn't go, stop, Take a look and listen. Did that motherfucker just say he knew shit? Did that motherfucker just say he predicted the news 24 hours in advance? Nigga, please, fuck you. You know, I'm like, no, let's be friends. Let's be friends. I can't say that I'm gonna predict your dinner. I can predict. I stick my finger out to the wind. I'm like, oh my God, there's a storm coming. They're coming. They're like, dude, you're a schizoid. Wait a minute. Let's just move forward with the title here. So, fuck LA, okay? Idaho, look, I want to beat Gunner Standard up, but, you know, let's talk about me beating up my old buddy in Portland, Oregon another day. Hey, man, where you at? Carl Simon, where you at? There you are. Now, you're going to see old crusty documentaries from me. If you're a Latino, you need to learn from me. I care more about you than your poppy. I told this woman at Walmart, who was a pretty Latino, that Donald Trump hates Hispanics and that men, right, that voted for Donald Trump that are Latino hate you. Okay, you can be open borders and see through what Trump has done to Afghans and Iraqis by demonizing them and everybody else as part of ISIS and terrorism. Okay, let's ban this, let's ban that, let's ignore 9/11. That dude has ignored, so let's move on. Northern California is one spot I'd be willing to go to. New York was someone with an apartment where I can have some space to myself in a real bed. And I'll sleep on the floor, but I don't think I should be planning to engage with my mother until we deal with these systemic issues. It would be bad for her and me. She invited me to New York. It would be a energetic metaphysical bloodbath. And she's a dumbtard for even flirting with such an idea if we can't talk cordially. Okay? If you can't talk cordially in person and you can't talk cordially on the phone, telling someone to bring their cat to New York City is going to be perceived, even if I'm wrong, as a setup to get me beat up by black people. All right? So she's going to have to take offense to that, but I'm going to perceive her as trying to set me up. Now, it's 2024, and I'm lightning jack. Now is the time, honey, to ask your friends in the ivory towers, are you against racism? Are you against our country being taken over by China and Russia? Oh, interesting. How cute. Hey, I know a guy who predicted this shit before Trump. Would you like to know his relation to me? Sure. He's my son. Well, what happened with your son? Well, you could just tell them the truth, honey. I came under extreme attack because his people are greatly hated. When, mommy, you learn the truth about your oppression, my oppression, we can move forward. But as far as I'm concerned, you're in denial. So, honey, we have nothing to do with each other for the rest of our lifetimes. You want to send me candy and gifts and act like, after you rape me in the butt, that everything's fine? I'll turn it down a little bit because I care about you. But the deeper systemic trauma that you hit me in the head with brass knuckles still remains. You still shank me, lady. You still shank me in the belly. You still don't say you love me in a real way. I'm not fucking with you. I actually mean it this time. Because if you love someone, you tell them what their race is. You never go, oh no, we're keeping that under lock and key, but I love you. No, you're manipulating. And so, New York City, Northern California, aspects of Colorado, aspects of Arizona. I always wanted to go to Mexico, but I was told specifically by my friend that I will die in Mexico. And she's so psychic that I have to believe her. Because I am now seeing that Latinos fucking hate me. And it's sick. There's only one Latina. I don't know if any Latino male who likes me, but there's only one Latina who likes me. But there is one catch. She can't say Afghan lives matter. And I'll tell you what, I don't know my mom has either. You can't trust anybody who wants to argue with you and say, all lives matter. When they retort like that, go, lives matter. They're pissing on your face. No rational person, when you've been bastardized and they've killed your people by the millions, would ever hesitate to say Afghan lives matter when they know that you've considered suicide or the matter, or that you've suffered from false suicidal ideation that you never acted on. In other words, to Blake, I've never really been suicidal, but I've been in so much pain that I've never known what to do. My mother continues to put me through such extreme pain through the silence of her. So she watches me, but she gives me nothing. She gives me no podcasts. She tells me nothing about spirituality. If she was on the path of spirituality, she could record private podcasts on the nature of reality, send it to me and say, tell no one till I'm dead. 30 seconds of awkward silence, and we'll hope dear mummy gets a clue. There is no excuse, dear mummy, unless you're a witch on the dark side. If you're a witch on the good side, high five. Are you done with the Unfortunates book yet? Or do you not really know the light versus the dark, witch? I think it's fine if you're on the light side, but you have to be on the light side. You actually have to be overtly against Hitler and Nazis and white supremacy. Denying what's going on is just going to make me angrier as the solar cycle increases. Do you speak English by chance? Because I'm giving you a heads up. As the solar cycle ramps up, my rage and anger will grow. As 2025 progresses, I will make more and more videos, shouting, screaming, throwing things, not so much smashing windows, but if that mental handicap thinks that I need to be mentally retarded, you want to fucking double take at me? Do something. Okay? They can't do anything. I mean, I have never seen such cowardly. Who cares if they're twice my size? Nobody hits the bag with power here. I seen Curtis Frost, who worked for the A-Man. Dude, that dude looked like he could murder me, man. That dude scared the shit out of me. That's why A-Man will talk to me, because I mentioned that dude's name, because he's dangerous. I mentioned the names of dangerous killers. I'm not to be mad at the A-Man. The A-Man got in too deep. I just wanted the A-Man to bring me back to Portland. I just want my friend. So I am not to go to Portland. And there's one viewer, female, who said she was at the age of my mother, who said I saved her life. She told me, don't go to the West Coast. But I want to go to the West Coast. I want to feel the positive solar maximum vibe, because this vibe here of solar maximum is hurting me. Okay? The women here, they're like, wait a minute, there's no such thing as a good thing. And so on one level, I can look at it like, wait a minute, all the dudes that claim to be godly that gave them cards try to rape them or something. But actually the truth is they are of such a low vibration. That's what I told one female at Walmart who let me talk to her for 10 minutes. And I was not strongly, overtly like, oh, wow, you're so pretty. I really need to get into those pants. None of those thoughts were happening. I was aware that she had a figure like 1/20th. And if I was to focus just on her being pretty, right, then maybe I could be focused in more of the carnalism, like sex. But that's not where I was taking it. I was very clear and was not lovey-dovey with her like I was with the other Walmart girl, where I said, hey, if you like me, maybe we'll run off and I'll protect you from the evil. Telling a woman that you're that good, telling a woman that you'll bend over backwards to save her life in this society, she won't even believe it. And then she'll run home and tell her fucking boyfriend. That is Satanism. When you already have a boyfriend and you don't tell a guy who's trying to help you that you have a boyfriend, then you tell a boyfriend that a guy tried to meet you. That's psycho. You don't ever, as a woman, ever introduce your husband or boyfriend to me, motherfucking cunts. If you want help from the burning buildings that are coming, you are to keep my information to yourself. You are not to go, well, this guy talked to me and is trying to save my life, so maybe I should leave you for him. So get a clue. If you happen to be watching this channel and you made that mistake, I'm not saying you. I don't know who's watching. But there are bad decisions that people make. And so I feel like this environment is stalling my progress. All I fucking do is shout at you anymore. Is that the most evolved thing for me to do? Shout and make eye contact with zombies that don't have a fucking soul. Okay? I drive by this local town screaming, Brown Lives Matter. But do you think these people here that aren't being targeted by Nazis say that shit? No, because they're still working. Okay? So they don't know what it's like to be poor. They don't know what it's like to be a real minority. These Latinos, nor the women. But if you were Mexican in Oregon, you know what it's like to be hated for being brown. So I gotta get out of this fucking place, man. The devil is here. Or I say that a lot, but I said the same thing about New York and Portland. So it's just a figure of speech. The devil is here on the earth. And he's being hatched like a negative Superman. It's like something out of, Superman 4, where like the demon came out of the sun and shit. And like the sun explodes and the demon comes alive. And then Superman has to battle this thing that Lex Luthor. See, I remember the 700 Club, they had that Lex Luthor wrestler guy, Luger guy. Total carnalist, total druggie, total adultery. Then they go on those fake Christian shows and everything's fine because they're supposedly promoting how they gave their life over to Jesus Christ. It's all just smoke and mirrors. Oh, I gave my life to. Oh, so you're a Christian now? Yeah, I'm a Christian now. Tell me about 9/11 was an inside job. Tell me that how white supremacy does exist and isn't, promoted in the Bible, yet biblical people say that white supremacy does, a lot of them do, maybe not you, right? There are people out there in porno that wear the Christian cross. Talked about it with my friend. These Latino rapists wearing the Christian cross aren't real Christians. And so if I'm talking about God and Jesus with a Latina or Latino, if they've already been harmed by the church, they're like, yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. They are not even for a second believing that I'm legit. Now, when I talk to Miss Hispanic 1 and 2, I don't remember how many people I talked to. I went in today with a golden aura of confidence. You are going to listen to me. You are going to take this card. And so how many women did I basically grab by their aura? And what you will sit, you will listen, you will take this card. Not literally like that, but the energy was, I am somebody with something important to say. And not only that, if you're not going to come to the channel, if you're not going to give me a chance, look, I know my height. I know the way I look. The fact that I'm not is playing a role. So I'm telling you, ladies, each and every day I give out these cards. And there's something about you people and the practice environment that's holding you back. Having said that, I'm going to leave you now. There's nothing that I can tell or see that can elevate any other region of the earth above this, other than to suggest that maybe other areas are less populated, more country-ish. But anywhere you're dealing with modern humans, you're going to deal with the same programming. So again, if you live in Northern California, if you live in Las Vegas, if you live in New York, I didn't mention Las Vegas yet, and mystical areas in Arizona, so 4 quadrants. Arizona, Las Vegas, New York City, if you have an apartment or a place to stay in Manhattan, or a safer place to stay in a corner of Queens. I'll megaphone where they did the mass shootings. I'll stand right there, folks. But my mother cannot endorse that stuff and does not support that behavior, and probably gives her diarrhea. We need warrioresses that are authentic, not copying Disney redhead figures with bows and arrows. And let me tell you, I think ballerina is about promoting the crotch shot. I think a real woman with real leg flexibility must learn Taekwondo. No daughter of mine would be permitted to do ballet and run away from her family. If I had a daughter, she would be doing Taekwondo, and she would be learning women's self-defense. There wouldn't be any type of, this is spiritual, we're doing dun, 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 because ballet, from what she told me, is discriminatory. And so it's not a worldview to go out giving your life to ballet. You are to give your life to women, exposing human trafficking.